make some noise. It's like, well, I will when something happens.
All right, energy.
You are so funny. I just got to meet your lovely wife.
Yes.
I love, a little family.
She told me to sit up and not man-spread when I'm out here. I have a bad habit when I get on talk shows. I start sitting up, and by the end, I'm just kind of like laying like that. So I'm working on the posture here.
I always have to sit on
pillows.
the edge because my feet don't touch the ground because I'm short.
Oh,
so
all right.
it always looks like I'm ready to go. Like in every interview. I can't ever touch the floor. But wait, we know you as a comedian, but you played music early on. You're a drummer, right?
Yeah, I'm a failed drummer. That's the first thing that I saw. Yeah, I thought I was going to be a professional drummer. You know, I grew up, MTV generation.
Yeah.
So I listened to all the metal bands and everything, and I got into, like, Bonham and Tommy Lee and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I never made it past my parents' basement. So everybody would, they would come over and jam, and I just,
Why did you not make it past? Why you didn't have a band?
Because you know what? One of my talents is I know what I suck at, so I don't have to waste time.
Like super self-aware.
And I would go to music stores, and I would see, like, an 8-year-old kid get on a drum kit. And even though I was better than him, I could see that he was, like, expressing himself. He had ideas. And I wasn't playing drums. I was, like, doing drums. Like, I would just sort of, okay, that's what you play, and then you hit that, and then da-da-da. But then if somebody came over and had, like, a riff, and I had to come up with a beat, like, I didn't know, like, and I was just like, all right, this isn't my thing. And so then but through playing drums, I gradually got into the part of entertainment hopefully I should have been in, which is doing stand-up.
Still being on stage,
Yes.
And I think you're crushing the game, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, what are you listening to right now?
Oh, thank you.
What do you love to listen to?
I'm listening to everything from, like, Soundgarden, Illinois Jacket. I downloaded something of his, and then I've been trying to get over my anger issues, so I discovered this music, lo-fi, to try to, like, I'm like a rescue dog. Like, keep me calm, don't trigger me.
Yeah.
And
don't trigger me?
But like, through, like, listening to lo-fi, I then found there's this new genre of music called shoegaze.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe I'll just stare at my shoes and listen to this atmospheric music for a couple of hours. So sorry to bum you guys out. All right.
I'm that person. If I'm in, like, a great mood, I listen to, like, really happy, uplifting music. If I'm really down, I go to, like, Joni Mitchell. I go dependent upon my mood. You'd think you'd want to, like, listen to something happy when you're sad, but I don't.
No, because it feels phony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to lock into it. Although I did find this thing, George St. Pierre, the UFC legend, said for anger, like when you get angry, to smile. To just smile when you're starting to, like, snap, driving down the street or whatever. And I didn't think that made any sense, but then I started doing it. And what's funny is when you smile, I guess it releases this chemical, and then you just feel stupid for being, like, that angry or whatever. So whatever. I'm trying. I'm wearing sweaters. I'm doing what I can. All right? I'm making an effort.
You know what, like, totally pisses my kids off? We have kids are similar in age, one of them at least, and I have a really hard time not laughing when they get really angry.
Oh, yeah.
And it pisses them
Yeah, they
off.
get mad. They get mad,
But it's like, little kids getting so angry, and I'm just like, but really, what are you mad at? Like, what is happening that's so terrible in your life? And they get so mad. Do you do that?
I have the reverse thing. When I'm trying to be the tough parent, my kids always end up making me laugh, and they know they can make me laugh, which gets them out of being in trouble. So then my wife has to come in and be, like, the bad guy. So that's sort of like a thing. She's going, like, Bill, you gotta, like, you know, I can't always be
the
disciplinarian, but they're funny. Like, their lies are funny. They're so see-through, and you just look at it like, do you really think I don't know that was you? You're the only person in the room. Like, what are we doing here? Like, just get this over with.
But the commitment, they will commit to a lie. It is pretty good.
They do. So, like, I don't know. I got yelled at a lot as a kid, so I'm probably, like, overcorrecting.
Yeah.
I'm a mess, Kelly.
I'm not. No, you're not. You're in sweaters. You're doing great. You're wearing sweaters. You're doing great.
It's the Dr. Phil show. You need to put on a sweater and start smiling.
And smile more.
You're fixed.
You're fixed.
That's it. That's it. Let's go to commercial.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stop for a couple commercials. I have so many things to say. We have someone in the audience to help.
I was wondering why he was standing up. That was making me nervous.
I felt like it.
He got up like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, is this...
Hi, Kelly and Bill. I'm TJ. If you ask me, Bill, you belong on the Mount Rushmore of comedians, one of the best of the best. You speak your mind, tell it like it is, what's right and what's real. Stay here. Kelly has more with the great Bill Burr after this.
We are back with the hilarious Bill Burr. His latest comedy special is on Hulu. It's called Bill Burr Drop Dead Years, because it's uplifting. And if you're in New York, you can also see him in Glengarry Glen Ross at the Palace Theater on Broadway. The play is about a group of real estate salesmen who are trying to sell worthless property. So why not go see that? Who do you play?
I play this guy, David Moss, and he's one of those guys where he just sort of wills himself into a sale. Very knees and elbows, no tact to him whatsoever. And, you know, I sort of filled in the background of this guy. He's not married. Maybe he has an on-again, off-again girlfriend who should have broken up with him, but due to childhood issues, she keeps coming back to him. But I'm basically, you know, my job is everything to me. And they started this new thing where there's a contest. And if you're not the top 2 salesmen, you get fired at the end of the quarter or whatever. And that really, like, you know, and I've been with them for a long time. There's no sense of loyalty, you know, stuff that everybody's dealing with nowadays. And so my character then, you know, sets off a plan to get those guys back, basically, without ruining the play.
Yeah.
But it used to play as sort of this voyeuristic look into the cold world of sales. And it was raw, like, wow, man, that's like depressing. But now today it's playing as like a comedy. I feel like a dark comedy where like these corporate guys, they're lizard people. They're out of their minds. They can't make enough money. They don't care if you don't see your kids, and they just want a bigger infinity pool than the next guy. It's like you couldn't give one person dental coverage. You just kept it all for yourself.
And
then one of the, oh, it's these immigrants. No, dude, it's you. It's you.
It's actually you.
Yeah,
You're the problem. So wait, speaking of salesmen, I hear that you actually were a salesman. Was it insurance that you sold?
Yeah, I sold health insurance as a walled-off lunatic psycho. I just was like, I was like a wallflower. And somehow my brother was making a ton of money doing sales. I was between jobs.
Yeah.
So I got myself licensed to sell health insurance, and I was terrible. I remember I made one sale, and I came in, and my brother was looking at the numbers, going like, wait, you sold this guy? I'm going, yeah. And he just started going. He goes, was he crazy? Because like the difference, like what I got, he was paying this much, and I was here. And he was going, was he crazy? No. Was he homeless? No. And then he goes, was he fat? And I was like, yeah, he was.
Oh, my God.
Because we can't cover this guy. He's obese.
Oh, my gosh.
Why are you guys getting sad? That's the math of it. Like, would you take on that risk? The guy was a walking heart attack, and I was going to give him health insurance for like $18 a month. And I remember him sitting there with this big fat face looking at me like, you're going to get it to me for that? I'm like, absolutely. And I signed it. Yeah. And that was my first and only sale, and it didn't make it. And I was like, all right, I don't want to be doing this. It just wasn't.
There is literally no better segue to Drop Dead Years, your stand-up. Yeah, so wait, you're doing stand-up. I have to ask, though, you're doing Broadway. We obviously know you from stand-up. Which one do you like better? Like, is one easier or one better for you?
This will sound crazy. I like them equally.
Okay.
And stand-up is, you know, my first love. And all the guys that I grew up with watching and stuff and learning from, and to be able to actually go out. And I still can't believe I get to tell jokes for a living. It's crazy. And then the acting thing is just something I sort of got into as you know, I got into this business. But what I love about acting is I like being on stage with somebody else. I like being there for the other person. And oh my God, like Michael McKean, I do my first scene with him, and he just lobs it over the net. So they have this thing where if you're on Broadway and you're doing your lines and all of a sudden you can't remember what you're going to say, they call it going into the white room, which is the big fear. So, of course, you know, in the first 2 weeks, it's going to happen a couple of times. So I go into the white room. I have no idea what I'm saying. And we just start riffing back and forth. So I have this line that I say, that's the God's truth. And it gets me depressed at my age, right? That's the thing. And so we're going back and forth. I have no idea where I am in it. And then finally, Michael just looks at me and he goes, does it get you depressed? And I'm like, as a matter of fact, it does. And then I was like back in it. And we laughed.
Like, that's it.
We laughed about that the whole elevator ride down, which is my favorite thing ever, because Michael's one of the greats of all time, and one of the greatest acting classes I've ever gotten is every night after the first act, we ride back down to the dressing room, getting ready for Act 2, and I just ask him a couple of questions, and every night he gives me a couple of gems. He's just the most generous, amazing actor I've gotten to work with. And, of course, Bob and Karen and Howard, John, all of these guys that I'm working with, they're just bringing a different thing every night. So it's been amazing.
You're bringing a completely different vibe to it than the movie, which everybody knew from originally with Jack Lemmon. So, like, it's more funny. Bob was telling me, he was here, and Bob was telling me it's, like, way more funny than it used to be.
Yes, he's doing it completely different. Like, Bob is just like, he's like the engine, man. He comes out guns a-blazing, and he goes on first, him and Donald. So I always get, like, amped up, you know, to feed off what they're doing. But, like, all of us, we didn't watch the movie. We deliberately forgot about it. Because, you know, you're not going to... Jack Lemmon's Jack Lemmon. If you try to go out and do what he did, it's going to be a bad thing.
It's been a minute. Yeah, and Dennis Leary was actually, he was also here, and he talked about, there's this place, it's a Chinese restaurant in Boston that does comedy. Did you perform that?
Oh, that's where it started. It started, the Ding Ho was the original thing. So I started off doing stand-up in Boston, which was one of the great stand-up scenes historically. All of these amazing, amazing, amazing comedians had come out of there, and they always talk about that, like, what is in the water, you know, that makes people so funny in Boston. But I never thought that Chinese restaurants never got their shout-out for how important they were in building us all up, because they always had, like, these function rooms. And we would do stand-up there on the weekend, and you get paid in, like, a poo-poo platter. You know, they give you, like, an egg roll and all that. And it was great, because you were broke, so you would just, I'll take food. This is bad. I can't eat money. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but you really cut your teeth in those rooms, and they were, like, they were not easy rooms, you know? They were, like, you know, when I came up, you know, it was smoke-filled room. People were hammered. A lot of morons. A lot of bachelorette and bachelor parties. They were all screaming at you, so... To get to do Broadway, where people are like, you know, want to be there and they're paying attention, it feels like T-ball. I'm like, oh, this is great. Nobody's throwing anything at me. This is fantastic.
Those early years, though, do you feel like you've changed as a comedian, obviously, since the beginning and now? Like, not just being comfortable with yourself, but as
this
a comedian?
Is the third version of me. There was the first, like, just trying to be happy and make sure everybody liked me. And then I became this angry guy because I wasn't dealing with all of the stuff that had happened to me. And now I've kind of come on the other side that I realize that I got to get through the anger because, you know, after a while, you got to stop taking out your childhood on other people. They didn't do it to you, you know, so...
They didn't do it to you?
I'm trying to do that, yeah. Hence the new sweaters.
Sweaters? A lot of Bill's comedy involves him complaining about things, and he's not wrong when he does. So it's time for a round of Kelly and Bill Can't Stand It. Kelly and Bill Can't Stand It. A little jingle. Here's how it works. We're going to hit the button, and our supercomputer will bend space and time to access the quantum depths of our minds and determine some things that bother us right now. I am Ron Burgundy, and I read everything that's there. Then Bill and I will get to complain about those things. So Bill's first. You get to hit the button.
Oh, I do?
Do it.
Okay.
Get it out.
All right, what is it here? Oh, this is something that annoys me. Old people telling younger people that they missed out. Like, oh, the 80s and 90s. Oh, those were the best decades ever. No, they weren't great decades. There was the crack epidemic. The CIA fed it into the poor neighborhoods. It was great because you were young. All right? There's people that are young right now, and in 2050, they're going to be telling people, oh, you missed it, man. The 2020s were amazing. So just shut up and let young people have a good time.
I love that one. Okay, here's one for me. Here's one for me. Oh, I hate this. You know why I hate this? I am not selling gummies that make you skinny. Like, okay, and they have my mouth moving. It's like a deep fake AI, and they have my mouth moving somehow talking about people or things that are not me. And I spend a lot of time, Bill, just saying, no, that wasn't me. Do
I understand.
You?
Well, here's my thing. All that deep fake AI, all of those robots, none of us want this stuff. This is for super rich people to take over, and if you're complaining about them, they'll just make it seem like you said something that you didn't say, and that's the end of your career.
Yeah.
These are very dangerous things.
It is very,
They are. And the nerds are the ones that are creating it for the sociopaths. And my whole life, all you feminists were looking out for the athletes and all of that. You left the nerds alone. Well, now look at you. Now look at you.
They're taking over. Your turn. See, you jumped on mine.
My turn? I felt like I just went.
You jumped on mine.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Oh, here's the one for me. When you go to an NBA game, that guy in front of you, every time there's a three-pointer, he has to put his hands up and do this. It's like, bro, they're going to take 100 of these. Like, it's literally worth one more point than a layup. You know what I mean? And there's nobody underneath because of the 3-second rule. I just don't understand. Everybody, and then they're like, oh, oh. The whole thing. And then they have a DJ at the game, and then they're shooting T-shirts into you. You know, like I can't, you know, if I want a T-shirt, I'll get one. I'm not going to fight 40 Americans for it.
But people do.
Dude, you go to a Lakers game, it's a DJ party with a basketball game. Like, it's like, these are the Lakers. Can I watch the game? And the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Make some noise. It's like, well, I will when something happens. I'm not just gonna make noise.
And it's
because
like
you want me to. Because you got a bad product. Because the NBA game now looks like a shoot-around before the game. I don't want to see some 8-footer taking a three-pointer. I want to see him underneath.
Okay.
Throwing elbows with the other guy, taking out a point guard like they used to, instead of just like...
No, it's good that you've worked through your anger.
Guy running down the court doing this.
All right, that's Kelly and Bill Can't Stand It. Bill's comedy special is called Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years. It's on Hulu. You can also see him in Glengarry Glen Ross at the Palace Theater on Broadway. Go online for tickets. Thank you guys so much.